Welcome back to another episode of Trench Study. Laiatu Latu is one of the most highly regarded prospects in the 2024 NFL Draft, and he's starting to show why. In Latu's first two games, Latu only had one pressure. However, the 15th overall pick has 9 pressures in the last 2 games alone. I'm going to break those down as well as some other reps now. For this first rep, he's going to be working against Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones was a 5th round pick in 2022, and he started every game he's played since. So Latu's going to hit him with the cross chop and get some sort of pressure on Caleb. The cross chop was Laiatu Latu's go-to move in college, and it's just a chop across the tackle's body. So he's going to come off the ball here and then start to chop across the tackle's body. So watch his left hand, chops down across, and then he's going to follow it up with his right hand to try to pin it down. So he pins it down with his right hand there. You can see it, kind of. You can see it between them. He pins that hand down, which doesn't let Braxton recover on him. He's able to start working around to the QB. It's good to see what worked for him in college, working for him in the pros. He's hit some guys with this in his other games as well. On this next rep, we're going to see Latu use some of his power, which he didn't use much in college, but he's going against Braxton Jones, who has struggled with power throughout his early career. And you see he's able to force him out of the pocket. So he's going to be able to create great push here with the bull rush. So he gets those hands into his chest before Braxton can get hands on him. Then he's going to start working him back. As you see, he overpowers the anchor. Braxton starts sliding. So he pushes him back into Caleb here. Caleb has to roll out, and Latu tries to chase him. I think he draws a flag there. So a pretty good rep from Latu, and I like to see him using power because, as I mentioned, he didn't use it as much as I would have liked in college. And here we have another bull rush, which Braxton hasn't really been able to deal with in 3 years. Able to get a hand on Caleb. So he's just going to fire off the ball and get right into Braxton. From here, he's going to start to turn that into a long arm. So he's going to work that one side heavily with one arm. Right now is where he starts the long arm. Pushes him out to the side. Then he tries to swim over top and get to Caleb, which he almost does. So one more time. Bull rush, long arm, swim. On this fourth rep, we're back to the cross chop, which is a go-to. Doesn't get it quite as cleanly as last time, as you can see. So Latu's actually going to miss with the cross chop this time. So he comes off, and then when he goes for that cross chop, he's not able to get it. You see he misses right there. Then Braxton gets a hand on him, but he still tries to pin that arm down. And he's somewhat able to, but he still has that hand on him, which stops him from being able to turn the corner here. And it's the difference between a sack and a nothing. So one more time. Goes for the cross chop. Misses. And then he's not able to turn the corner because Braxton has a hand on him. Almost does at the end. Then here we're going to have more power from Laiatu Latu. Overpowers Jones. This kind of looks like an Austin Booker rep here. He's just going to get that long arm right on the side of Braxton and be able to push him off to the side. Keeps that long arm extended, works back inside. By that time, Caleb's already gone. But he shows good power in his hands here. Here we have another bull rush, but he's going to close it differently than the last ones, which means he finishes the rep differently. So he's going to fire off like normal, get into him with both hands, and then he's going to go for a little rip here. So he creates distance, starts a rip, and then spins back inside, frees himself up for what would have been a sack. So one more time, gets into him. You see he frees himself up here, right there, extends his arm, frees himself up for the rip, goes for the rip, can't get it, spins around, has a free path. Then here we have Laiatu Latu's strip sack from this game. It's against the tight end Cole Kmet. There's the sack. So it looks like Latu gets run play on this. He goes into it like it's a run play, but from here he's going to club aside, try to swim over top, doesn't quite get it, so he's going to rip underneath, rips around, and starts working to Caleb. And Caleb expects he's to be safe because he has 2 tight ends on that side, but he's not clearly. And it's a strip sack, and it was a very big play in that game. Then here we have another bull rush. This is probably the most I've seen Latu go for bull rushes in college or in the pros. And it probably has to do with Braxton just being so weak against them. So it's actually more like a long arm with a chop. So he's going to come off, get that long arm going. He has the long arm, and then he's going to try to chop down Braxton's left arm. He misses with it and just gets to his chest. So he's going to fire in with the bull rush. Pops his hands out, gets back into him with the bull rush, Then he's going to try to rip under, but he's too late for Caleb. Still, you like to see him being able to adjust mid-rep. I also like how he pops off, then lowers his pad level to get even more drive. Very good rep from Latu. And now we're back to his cross chop. These are his main two moves without a doubt early in his career. So this time he's pretty slow off the ball. It's kind of like a stutter. And then he's going to hop into that cross chop. So he's going to chop that hand down, try to pin it down with his right hand. Right here. You see him try to pin it, but it looks like Braxton's able to keep his hand on him. And he's going to try to work around. Maybe a slight hold right here. Probably a hold. They still get the sack. So one more time. Slow off the ball here. Explodes into that cross chop and starts working around. Now we're moving on to the Steelers game, and he's going to be working against Dan Moore Jr. for the most part. Moore had a rough year last year, but he's come out pretty strong this season. And Latu's going to get some pressure against him. Almost take down Fields. So this is just going to be a pretty simple swipe. Starts getting depth with his speed. And he's going to swipe Moore's hands away when he tries to strike him. Right there. See, he swipes the hands away. Then he's just going to start bending around trying to get to the QB. And he almost does. Maybe a slight hold there. And he's almost able to bring down Fields, but not quite. Fields runs out and makes a good pass. Here we're going to see Latu be able to swat down a pass against Fields here. There it is. So he's just going to come off the ball, get into Moore, and hit him with a bit of a push-pull. So he's going to pull him down, start to work around outside, which he does. And then from there, he just has good hands to get the ball in the pass. Now we're going to move on to more of the run game stuff. Here he's going to be able to partake in a tackle. Not really much to break down here, just a good job seeing the play, then reacting before the tackle is able to get any hands on him. You see right there, kind of swims across and makes the play. Good stuff from Latu. Here we have yet another run-stopping play from Latu, and this was some people's concern about him coming out of college, but I thought he was just so slippery he'd be able to handle himself, as you see here. And this is a good example of why I use the term slippery for some edge rushers. For example, Laiatu Latu and Austin Booker, they're just able to avoid blocks with their quickness and their change of direction. And you can see that here. Comes off the ball, reads the play quickly, gets into him, swims over top, and cleanly is able to pick up the tackle. And here we have yet another run stop from Laiatu Latu, working against Darnell Washington, who's a very good blocking tight end. And he's just going to be able to get right into Washington, get into him with a long arm here, get his arm extended, start pushing him back, close up the run lane, which he does. And he's able to be a part of the tackle. Now we have another pass rushing rep against Dan Moore Jr. The guard help comes and stops him, but they're able to get a sack. So Latu's going to fire off for a bull rush, and Moore's actually going to hit him pretty hard with his right hand here. Get a nice stab at his shoulder, pop him back. But Latu's going to be able to club off to the side here, club him away, and then rip underneath. But when he goes for the rip, the guard help comes, stops him, but still they get the sack. So one more time. Gets into him with the bull rush. Gets a grip of that left shoulder pad and kind of clubs it aside. Club, long arm, not sure exactly what you call it. He's able to swipe him off to the side and then rip through where the guard help comes. Next rep, he's going to show pretty good eyes and be able to get a pressure. Stops the screen. Latu doesn't get fooled at all by the play action here. He just gets right into the tight end, sees Fields running out, throws him aside and starts working to him. And he's able to shut off the lane to 88, so Fields has to go the other side and just throw an incompletion. You see some of his motor here too. He just never gives up on a play. He always goes full speed. It's like a madman. Here's another rep that shows his motor. He just never gives up on the play. Keeps going, keeps fighting, almost gets to Fields. So he has to deal with chip help here. Which he does, he gets past Najee. And then he's very wide at this point, so he's going to try to work back across more. So he tries to get across more with a little bit of a club. And then he's just going to fight through. Keeps fighting, swim over top. Almost get to Fields. Not much to really break down, but you can see how this dude's always going and his motor always runs hot. He's just always going for the ball. Constantly in motion to the ball. Thank you for watching this episode of Trench Study. How many sacks do you think Latu will finish with this year? And do you think it will be enough for him to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? If you like this style of video and want more breakdowns, make sure to subscribe for more. And as always, peace.